Ben Simmons, this is your final chance. If I had to tell you a player in the NBA that you could argue was the biggest disappointment, I'd probably have to point at Ben Simmons. A former #1 overall pick alongside being a rookie of the year had a lot of potential to arguably be Magic Johnson and LeBron James into one. Now, of course, if you've been on NBA YouTube or literally you've just watched a lick of ESPN, you would know that that did not happen in any way, shape, or form. And hell, for the longest of time, my most popular video was about Ben Simmons and how, hey, he kind of deserved to fail. However, about 3 months later, I'm starting to have a little bit different of an opinion, but let me explain first. See, this all stems from the fact that about a week ago, I made a video called ranking the top 100 NBA players, and in that list, I had Ben Simmons at number 60. Now, was that a controversial take? Absolutely. However, I need you guys to know that I recorded that about 10 days later, and yesterday, something came out about Ben Simmons that I think we gotta look into. So yesterday on NBA Today, Mark J. Spears, an analyst for ESPN, had this to say about Ben Simmons.
Well, I talked to somebody close to the former LSU star, shout out LSU. I would say he's in the final stage of prep for the season, and he has passed every benchmark and is as healthy as he has ever been since his last year in Philly. Brooklyn has been incredibly supportive, and the plan is for him to be the Nets point guard and primary ball handler this coming season.
Now, of course, this could all be speculation whether or not this is actually true. Now, I did forget to mention this as well, but about a month ago, there was some Ben Simmons workout video that got leaked or it got posted on Instagram, and honestly, I didn't care about it because NBA workout videos are just as useful as the to NBA YouTube, but I'm gonna be honest, I 1000% think this is true, and I think that Ben Simmons could officially be back. Now, I know what some of you guys might be saying, oh, but Spex, we've seen the workout videos, we've seen the reports that he's healthy, why should we believe he deserves another chance? Well, because up to those point with those injuries and the claims that he was finally healthy, a lot of that was just speculation. For example, when the brand new season started, I think a lot of us said, okay, Ben Simmons is gonna come back and he's gonna be fully healthy and ready to play. However, if you saw the fact that Ben Simmons played 45 games and he averaged like 7-7 on terrible efficiency, you would know that's obviously not the case. But now we have someone close to Ben Simmons saying that he is just as healthy as he was in Philadelphia. And for context, if you remember, Philadelphia Ben Simmons was a rookie of the year, an all-star caliber player. In fact, he literally was an all-star one of those years. In fact, it was the last time he was actually good, which it seems like it was so long ago because that's just how time is. But I don't think people understand how good he was in his quote-unquote prime. When Ben Simmons was at his best, he was like a 16, 8-8 guy who, despite being a terrible three-point shooter, shot great from the field as a whole. And mind you, I haven't even mentioned what he was able to do on the defensive side. Of course, his offense was limited because he was only able to shoot inside the three-point line. But he didn't necessarily have to be a #1 option because they already had Joel Embiid and they had some solid scorers on their team. So Ben Simmons on the offensive side to some might have been a liability, but in my opinion, he was the perfect player for that team. Now, of course, we could bring up the passed up dunk and everything that ended in Philadelphia, but in my opinion, that was just because of the way the city treated him. This man was absolutely the most hated man in Philadelphia, and his mental health really started to decline, at least from what we saw. Now listen, am I going to say that Ben Simmons is not somewhat in the wrong? I do believe he is. There were some key moments where I felt like Ben Simmons kind of made people think he was going to play, but then he went out at the last second, or maybe he was just overall not being that good of a teammate. Like the way things ended in Philadelphia, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But now here in 2023, heading into the NBA season, which is going to be in a couple months, I think Ben Simmons deserves one more final opportunity. But okay, let's say training camp starts and Ben Simmons is fully healthy. Well, what does that exactly mean, and what kind of player could he be? Well, I don't know if he's going to start, that's for starters. Get it? Because start and start. Oh, come on, I thought it was funny. But look, I think Ben is going to struggle a little bit to start off, but I think as time goes on, he's going to progressively get better, and he's going to help out the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are in a very interesting time right now as a team. They went from a team that had arguably the best big three in the NBA with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden to now kind of rebuilding in a way. Now, they do have some great pieces with Mikal Bridges being their default #1 scorer. They just extended Cam Johnson. I think Nick Claxton is one of the most underrated centers in the NBA. They do have solid pieces around them to succeed, but I think Ben Simmons is only going to make them better. Now, I'm not sure if he's actually going to start at the point guard position. Maybe he converts into a forward, or maybe he does play point guard. I'm not entirely entirely sure. I would like to see him come off the bench though and kind of run with the second guys. I think he would be a nasty rotation player. But of course, if he does exceed expectations and becomes like a 20 points per game scorer and it's just back to Philadelphia Ben Simmons, then obviously you put him in the starting lineup. Now, I still do have some concerns regarding his injury. For example, is he going to be as mobile on defense as he was in Philadelphia? Because last season we saw his defense and he wasn't exactly the high defensive player that we always saw him as. Because even when I would defend Ben Simmons, I tried so hard to defend him to the point where I was saying, look, if he was a good defender, then making that trade for him was a great idea. But that is just dumbing him down to a defensive player, and we all know Ben Simmons has potential to be better than just a random defensive player. Also, is he going to be as passive as he was last year? I noticed many opportunities where Ben Simmons would get the ball and a lot of defenders would sag off and he would just try to pass the ball still. Is Ben Simmons going to be a negative to the offense, or maybe is he working on his three-point shot, which honestly I highly doubt, but you never know. Again, the reports are saying that now he's just focused on working on his skills, which I would think involves three-point shooting, maybe not though. What I'm interested in the most this season is just seeing how Ben Simmons' game is as a whole. If he's no longer passive, if he's aggressive on offense, if he's great on defense like I think he can be, I think we should be fine with the way he's playing. But as I highlighted in the intro and the title of this video, this is his final chance. He only gets one more. And even though some people in the comment section might be like, oh, he doesn't even deserve this one chance, I'm gonna give it to him. As much as people might hate it, I see the potential. I see the possibility of Ben Simmons becoming a great player. But if he doesn't perform well this year, then everything he did was just for theatrics. All the claiming that he was gonna be back and his teammates trying to defend him, it was just for whatever reason. Most people have given up on Ben Simmons, and quite frankly, I think it's okay to do that. But I do think a lot of people are going to be surprised if Ben Simmons comes back this year and is a lot better than most people thought. Now, I think the final question we need to ask in this video is, what happens if Ben Simmons plays this season and he's absolute garbage? Well, to put it simply, I think he's done. I don't think Ben Simmons will get talked about again. I think we're all going to label him a forever draft bust, and overall, I think he's just going to be seen as the biggest disappointment to play in the NBA in the past couple years. I think everybody's going to turn on him, and overall, I could see Ben Simmons leaving the league a lot sooner than we thought. I remember in the rankings video when I was talking about Ben Simmons, I said this take is either going to age extremely bad or it's going to age like fine wine. I don't think there's a in the middle. I think it's either an aggressive take or a terrible take. And that is the same with the way I perceive Ben Simmons now. He's either going to come back, become an all-star player, he's going to help out the Nets, or he's going to be a failure. There is no in between. But I'm not gonna lie, with the NBA season coming up in a couple of months, I am very excited to see what Ben Simmons can do and overall what the NBA is gonna do, what is going to happen. Usually I do transition into talking about another topic, but I do want to real quick talk about something that's been going on. For the past couple weeks, I've been a little inconsistent on the channel. I usually upload like 2 to 3 times a week, and as of lately, I've been doing like 1 to 2. Just know that if you're a new subscriber on this channel, that is not a normal thing whatsoever. I've been going through a lot of burnout and just a lot of problems, I guess, behind the scenes. I'm currently trying to figure things out though, and it looks like we're getting back on track with this video. But just know I'm working towards making the videos a lot better and obviously putting out a lot more stuff, because truly I hate uploading 1 to 2 times a week. It absolutely sucks. Just know I'm currently working on some stuff right now, and that Wemby video that was supposed to be this video, but I kind of just decided to talk about Ben Simmons first, and that kind of came out of nowhere. Now, if you guys don't like Ben Simmons and you're getting ready to roast the shit out of him in the comment section, well, I got something for you. On my podcast, The Starting Five, yeah, so everything I was about to say is complete BS, because yeah, we had a delay on the podcast as well, so I don't think we're dropping one this week. I think we're gonna do it next week when we have a full squad. So I guess just check out my recent video that I dropped about ranking NBA players, or what was my other video? Oh my god, I don't remember my last video. Fuck!